Silence is power, and most people underestimate it because they think power comes from volume, from being seen, from being heard all the time. But let me tell you something, the loudest person in the room isn't always the strongest, and the one who talks the most is not the one making the real moves. Silence is where strength is born because silence creates space for clarity. When you choose to stay silent, you're not retreating. You're not weak. You're not lost. You are listening, observing, and positioning yourself. And when you listen more, you learn more. When you observe more, you see what others miss. That's where your power grows. The world we live in today rewards noise. Everyone wants to announce their next step. Everyone wants to show off their progress. Everyone wants to be seen for what they're doing. But here's the truth. Real success doesn't need validation. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need likes, comments, or approval. Success speaks for itself. If you plant a seed and water it every day, you don't need to stand over it and scream for it to grow. Growth is silent, transformation is silent, progress is silent, and one day, just like that seed, your results break through the surface where everybody can see it. Imagine this. Two people are working toward their goals. One talks every day about what they're going to do. They post about it. They shout about it. They live for the reaction. The other one stays quiet, keeps their head down, does the work without fanfare. A year later, who do you think has more progress? Who do you think has more credibility? The one who stayed silent. Because while the other was talking, they were building. Silence gives you an edge. It keeps your strategies private. It keeps your energy focused. It keeps your enemies guessing. And silence doesn't mean you don't have a voice. It doesn't mean you don't stand for yourself. No. Silence means you're choosing your moments. You're saving your words for when they matter most. When you finally speak, people listen because they know you don't waste your voice on empty noise. You've trained them to respect your words because you've proven that when you talk, it's with purpose, with substance, with power. That's what silence does. It builds authority. The greatest transformations happen when nobody's watching. Think about an athlete training in the dark when the stadium is empty. Think about an artist working through the night when nobody is clapping. Think about a student burning the midnight oil when no one is cheering. That's silence. That's solitude. That unseen effort. That's where greatness is forged. Because when the lights finally turn on, when the stage finally opens, when the opportunity finally arrives, you step into it prepared, polished, unstoppable. And people will call it talent. They'll call it luck. But you'll know the truth. It was silence. It was the hours no one saw. There's another side to silence too. It protects your energy. Every time you argue, every time you explain, every time you beg someone to understand your vision, you're wasting energy that could be invested in building. Not everybody deserves access to your plans. Not everybody deserves to know your moves. When you protect your vision with silence, you protect your power. You stop feeding the doubts of others. You stop handing out your blueprint to people who may not support you. Instead, you keep it sacred, you keep it focused, and you let the results speak for themselves. So remember, silence is not emptiness. Silence is strategy. Silence is where the real work happens, the unseen hours, the quiet sacrifices, the invisible growth. That's where transformation begins. And when the time is right, when the work is done, when the results are undeniable, you won't need to explain yourself to anyone. Your silence will roar louder than any speech. Your discipline will echo louder than any words, and your life will become the testimony. Focus on yourself. Because the truth is nobody else is going to live your life for you. Too many people spend their days measuring themselves against others, chasing approval, and wondering why happiness feels so far away. But let me remind you, comparison is a thief, and distractions are silent killers. When your eyes are always on what someone else is doing, your energy is scattered, your confidence is shaken, and your growth is delayed. But the moment you pull that energy back and direct it inward, something powerful happens. You discover that the only competition you've ever had is the person you were yesterday. Think about it. The most successful people didn't get there by chasing after everyone else. They locked in. They created a routine, a vision, a discipline that was unshakable. They didn't ask for permission to grow. They didn't beg to be understood. They simply decided, this is my lane, this is my journey, and I will run it with focus until I reach my destination. And while the crowd was watching others, they were mastering themselves. That's the difference. Every distraction you entertain is a withdrawal from your future. You have to treat your focus like currency. Where you spend it, what you give it to, determines the quality of your life. If you keep investing your focus into gossip, negativity, comparing, and explaining yourself, don't be surprised when you feel broke inside. But if you invest that focus into your health, your mindset, your craft, your faith, you build wealth that no one can take away from you. Focus is the foundation of transformation, and the more you practice it, the stronger you become. Let me give you a picture. Imagine a magnifying glass held under the sun. The light is there, the power is there, but spread out, it does nothing. The moment you focus that light on a single point, it has enough heat to ignite a fire. That's what your life is like. The sun is shining on everyone Opportunity is out there for everyone, but only the ones who learn how to focus their energy, set their world on fire. That's the secret. Not luck, not talent, not noise. Focus. And focusing on yourself is not selfish, it's survival. It means you understand that before you can carry someone else, you have to be strong enough to carry yourself. Before you can lead, you must learn discipline. Before you can pour into others, you must fill your own cup. Too many people try to give what they don't have, try to carry others while they're empty, and then wonder why they feel drained. Focusing on yourself is the ultimate act of responsibility. Because when you grow stronger, everything connected to you grows stronger too. But here's the challenge. Focusing on yourself requires sacrifice. It means you may have to cut off noise, distance yourself from certain people, and say no to the things that look good but don't serve your growth. It means you might have to walk alone for a while, misunderstood, even judged. But that's okay. Growth is never comfortable, and focus is rarely applauded. People may not understand now, but they will when your results speak for you. That's why you stay patient, stay grounded, stay silent. Every day you wake up, ask yourself, am I closer to the person I want to be? Or am I still chasing what others think of me? That one question can shift your entire life. Because when you put your energy back into yourself, when you stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose, when you stop competing with others and start competing with yourself, that's when the transformation begins. That's when the noise fades and your vision clears. That's when doors open that you didn't even know were possible. So stop scattering your energy on things and people who don't matter. Take that power back. Focus on yourself. Sharpen your mind. Strengthen your body. Build your faith. Protect your vision. And the day will come when the same people who doubted you will be forced to respect you. Not because you explained yourself, not because you begged, but because you stayed focused long enough to transform your life. Don't broadcast every move, because not everyone watching is clapping for you. Some are waiting to see you fail. Some are waiting to copy your steps, and some simply don't care. Every time you reveal your next plan before it's ready, you weaken its power. Dreams are fragile in their early stages. They need silence, protection, and patience to grow. When you talk too soon, you invite doubt, negativity, and distraction into something that was meant to be sacred. That's why the wisest people don't announce what they're going to do. They show you when it's done. There is a reason seeds grow underground. They need the darkness, the stillness, the quiet soil to take root before they can break the surface. Your goals are the same. You can't expose them too early and expect them to survive. You've got to give them time to form in silence. When you move in silence, you are not hiding. You are protecting. You are creating space for your work to breathe, for your vision to take shape without interference. And when it's ready, when the results are undeniable, you won't need to say a word. Your success will be the loudest announcement of all. Think about how much energy people waste telling the world what they're about to do. They get so caught up in the performance of showing their grind that they forget to actually grind. They chase applause instead of progress. And the problem with applause is this: once you get addicted to it, you stop working for yourself and start working for validation. That's when you lose focus. That's when your purpose gets watered down. But when you stop broadcasting, when you stop needing the world to know every detail, you free yourself from that trap. You work for results, not recognition. And let's be honest, nobody can argue with results. You don't have to debate them. You don't have to explain them. You don't have to justify them. When you achieve something real, when you step into the room carrying the weight of undeniable results, people notice. And the beauty of that is you don't have to say a word. Because while everyone else was busy talking, you were busy building. While they were busy announcing, you were busy achieving. Silence gave you the time and the focus to create something solid. There is also power in mystery. When people can't predict your next move, they can't stop it. When they don't know your plan, they can't interfere. Moving in silence protects you from the weight of outside voices and the poison of doubt. Too many dreams die because they were exposed to the wrong people too soon. But when you keep it to yourself, you give your goals the protection they deserve. That's not selfish. That's smart. And here's the hook. People respect what surprises them. When you suddenly show up at a level no one expected, when you achieve something so powerful that it leaves them speechless, that's when you command respect. Not because you demanded it, not because you begged for it, but because you let your work speak. Respect earned in silence lasts longer than attention gained through noise. Attention fades. Respect remains. So, discipline yourself to hold back the urge to broadcast. Not everyone deserves access to your journey. Not everyone should know your battles, your strategies, your sacrifices. Keep it sacred. Keep it protected. Work in the shadows and let your results be the light. Because the truth is, when you're really building something great, you don't have time to announce every step. You're too focused on the work itself, and that's exactly how it should be. You cannot pour into others if your own cup is empty. Too many people run themselves dry trying to give strength, love, and support they don't even have for themselves. They think self Care is selfish. They think focusing on their own growth is arrogance. But let me make it clear, filling your own cup first is the greatest act of responsibility you can give to the people you love and the dreams you carry. Because if you're empty, if you're drained, if you're broken, what you give others will always come up short. But when you're full, when you're strong, when you've taken the time to sharpen yourself, what overflows naturally blesses everyone around you. Imagine trying to guide someone through a storm when you don't even know how to swim. Imagine trying to light the path for others when your own flame is burning out. That's what happens when you ignore yourself. You end up carrying burdens that crush you, giving advice that drains you, and offering love that leaves you depleted. But when you prioritize yourself, when you invest in your health, your spirit, your mind, you create a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. And from that foundation, you have the power to lift others. This is why discipline is not just about success, it's about survival. Taking care of your body through exercise and rest isn't vanity, it's preparation. Training your mind with reading, reflection, and learning isn't luxury, it's necessity. Feeding your spirit with prayer, gratitude, and faith isn't weakness, it's strength. Every time you pour into yourself, you're building a reservoir that will overflow into your family, your friends, your work, your community. People don't benefit from your exhaustion, they benefit from your strength. They don't grow from your burnout, they grow from your overflow. And here's the truth. Nobody claps for you when you're filling your own cup. Nobody celebrates you when you're alone in the gym, when you're up early journaling, when you're praying in silence, when you're grinding through your studies, when you're choosing rest instead of another party. But those unseen moments are the most powerful. They are the fuel stations of life. They refill you, recharge you, and prepare you for the battles ahead. And when the time comes, when life throws challenges your way, it won't be the applause of others that carries you. It will be the fullness you built in silence. There will always be people who don't understand why you step back, why you say no, why you choose to focus inward. They may call you selfish, distant, even cold. But you have to remember this: those who don't respect your boundaries don't respect your growth. Protecting your energy is not arrogance, it's wisdom. When you guard your peace, when you fill your cup, you're not only helping yourself, you're preserving your ability to be a true blessing to others. And here's a hook. When your cup is full, you stop needing permission to shine. You stop waiting for validation. You move with confidence. You walk with purpose. You live with strength because you are not running on empty anymore. You become unshakable because your worth is not tied to who claps for you. It's tied to the foundation you built within yourself. And when people see that, when they experience your overflow, they don't just respect you,